Good morning. Welcome back, guys. Happy Thursday. I'm so glad to be here with you again for another hopefully great Pilates Fusion class. We've been working really hard over the past week to start to get ready for opening some of our services for you guys next week. And I know we're really excited to begin to share exactly what it is that we're going to be offering, some fitness options and some other things as we begin to open the facility back up. Like I said, doing a lot of work to make sure that we're going to keep everybody safe and that everyone's going to have a great experience when they do return to our programming. We are going to continue to do these live classes and we're actually going to expand our live class schedule. So continue to check that virtual schedule that we put out every Monday. Like I said, we're going to be adding some more stuff there. So if these classes are more convenient for you, or if you're just not quite ready to come back to the facility, there's still something there for you to enjoy. So today's workout, as always, no shoes, please. Especially for today, we are going to be working on a little bit of lower body and with our core routine. So some of the moves are going to be a lot more comfortable if you make sure that you don't have shoes on. Totally up to you if you want to go bare feet or keep socks on. If you have a mat, feel free to use that. But if you're on kind of a cushioned surface, you don't even need that much. And do remember, this workout is all levels. I always provide lots of different options so that you can find what works for you, especially because we aren't in class together and I can't see you. I want you to be really cautious with the movements. It's always more important to try to do the best version of the exercise that you can, have really, really stellar form, really great technique, and lots of control versus trying to shoot for the most advanced variation of the exercise. And remember, if you really want to do those advanced variations and you're not there, keep coming back every week. You are going to build that strength and you will get there. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our warm-up today. So I want you to go ahead and move right into your tabletop position. And we're immediately going to transition forwards into a little leg stretch flow. So you pick the side you want to start on. I'm going to take my right leg. I'm just going to go ahead and step up into a nice low lunge. Lift your torso up nice and tall. And then I want you to go ahead and push forwards. Begin to open that back hip. I want you to really deeply bend into that front knee so you can sink nice and low towards the mat. And then I want you to go ahead and push all the way back out of that front leg. Push your way towards that back leg, and now flex your toes towards the ceiling. Stretch that hamstring. If you feel it all out of balance when you're doing this little flow, we're going to push back forwards into that hip opener. Good, then we'll go ahead and press back. All I want you to do is just open up your base of support. So you can kick that front foot out just a little wider. If you feel like, again, you need a little more stability in this position, I don't want you to feel really tippy. And again, just feeling all those muscles in the front of the hip, on that back leg, and on the back of the leg, and that front leg opening as we move here. Again, nice and slow and controlled, pushing for just a little more depth in each of the movements each time you go into them. And I press forwards, and press back. Feels so good just to move our bodies on this Thursday morning. All right, we're going to do just one more like that, push forwards. Again, last one, so really try to hit that depth sink. Good, and then push back. Let those toes reach towards the sky. Maybe even take a little hinge through the hips here. Press that chest towards the top of the leg to really deepen the stretch on that hamstring. Nice, excellent. I want you to go ahead, shift forward so you can flatten out that front foot on the mat. We're going to take our two hands and press them right to the inside of that foot. Go ahead, step your back foot forwards. Coming into a whitish forward fold here. I want you to take a nice deep breath in, really stretch up through the backs of your legs, keep your spine nice and long. And then as you exhale, I want you to just start to sit down a little bit here. Think about gently pushing the knees out and away from the body as you lower, to really open the insides of the hips, those inner thighs. We're going to inhale, lengthen, push your bottom up towards the sky, heels down into the floor. And then exhale, sink it into that nice wide squat. Again, you control your depth here. Take a nice deep breath in and lift. And then exhale. Good, push down. We'll do that just a couple more times. Inhale, lift, big stretch through the backs of the legs. And then exhale. Good, sink down. And let's do one more like this. Nice deep breath in, big lift. And then exhale, sink that bottom down. All right, lift up just a little bit here so that you can transition to the other side. So I want you to go ahead and step the opposite foot back from what you had back last time. Drop that knee towards the floor. And then let's go ahead and lift the torso up. We're going to come back into that flow on the other leg. So go ahead, start with that push forwards. Again, really deepen that stretch through the hip flexor. And then go ahead, push all the way back, flex those toes towards the sky, maybe just that little micro hinge through the hips. Go ahead and push forwards. Awesome, and then push back. And try to keep a nice long, tall spine. As you move through these two positions, core is engaged. Navel's drawing back towards your spine. All right, excellent. We've got two more, last two. All right, and last one, really deepen that stretch, push. Nice, and then press back, toes up towards the sky, find that hinge. All right, awesome. We're going to go ahead and move forwards, foot flattens out. We're going to do that wide forward fold to wide squat one more time. So go ahead and big step forwards through that back foot. Hands are to the inside of the feet. Start on an inhale, lift up, lengthen. Good, then exhale, drop it. See if you can get just a little lower than last time. Inhale, lengthen, big stretch. And exhale, drop that bottom, you got it. Good, inhale. And exhale. Two more. Last one. All right, excellent. Again, coming up just about halfway so we can move out of this position. I want you to go ahead and transition here so that you're seated. However, it's easiest for you to get there. Oh, already getting a little warm. So we're going to start to work into some focused core exercises here. Again, remember that we're going to have options. I want you to do what feels right for you. So we're going to start out palms gently pressing down into the mat behind our bottoms. Fingertips are facing forwards. Make sure that you are keeping your shoulders nice and relaxed as we work through this sequence. I want you to keep those shoulders dropped. Elbows are unlocked. We don't want to lock out or tense up in that space. Chest is nice and open. So think about creating a gentle squeeze between your shoulder blades as you sit. So we're going to work on a single leg extension here. I'm going to start with my left leg, just so you can see what I'm doing. My right foot is nice and flat on the floor. As you take a deep breath in, I want you to push that left leg forwards. Gently hinge back. Try not to put too much pressure into your hands here. Remember, we want the core to do a lot of the work for us. We're going to exhale and lift up again. Gently connect your heel to the floor. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to inhale, extend out nice and long. And then exhale, lift it in. So already, as promised, we said we're going to work a little bit of lower body with our core here today as well. So if you're already feeling that thigh on the extending leg, start to engage, that's good. All right, we're inhaling, extending. Good, exhaling, moving back to that start position. So modification here, if this is already feeling a little bit tough, we do have a few more of these to go. You can also slide your heel in and out along the floor. So especially if you are on a carpet, whether you have socks on or off, shouldn't be too hard to do that little slide, that little drag. Try to make sure that it's nice and smooth if you do have that heel down. Certainly keep the leg up if you can. We're going to do just 3 more on this side. Take that nice deep breath in. Again, chest stays open as you hinge back. And then exhale, lift it up and in. 2. Nice, and last one. Woo! All right, go ahead and place that foot down. We're gonna switch sides here. So continue to keep that chest open, readjust your hands if you need to. Let's go ahead and start on an inhale, extending toes forwards, and then exhaling. Good lifting. Inhale. Remember, you can take that modifier, sliding your heel in and out along the floor instead of lifting the leg. Also really easy to control our intensity here with our depth. So if I'm doing a smaller extension, a little reach out on the inhale, a little pull back in on the exhale, that's going to help me to modify. If I'm going really deep, trying to get as long as I can at the bottom of that range of motion, definitely going to feel that exercise a little bit more. 7, 6, good, remember to breathe. 5, 4, 3, last 2, you got this. Woo, feeling my triceps work as well. Let's do one more. Nice deep breath in. Good, exhale. Woo. All right, great job. Go ahead and place your feet back on the mat. I want you to open your knees out to the sides, press the soles of your feet together, and just take a quick butterfly stretch here. So try to lift up and forwards through your chest, keep that spine nice and long, and then exhale, draw the chest towards the feet. All right, doing great so far. We're going to come back into that seated position. One more part of our leg extension flow for this set. So we're going to bring hands back behind the hips, fingertips facing forwards. Again, set that upper body up, shoulders down, elbows are unlocked so that that space doesn't get uncomfortable as we're moving. So this time we're going to alternate legs. Pick the leg you want to start on. I want you to go ahead and inhale. We're going to extend forwards. Good, try to go a little deeper this time if you can. Exhale, come back into center, put that foot on the mat. Other leg extends out here as you inhale. And then we're exhaling, good, pulling back to center. So again, nice and slow and controlled here. Continue to slide your heels out and in on the mat if you need to take that modifier. Good, inhale. And exhale, you got it, 10. 9, remember stay as light on those hands as you can in this position. 8, I know that's not an easy thing to do. That's why we're working on it, right? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Woo! All right, excellent. Feet come back to the mat. Let's go ahead and shift position here. Take a little pressure off of those wrists. I want you to come down onto the mat on your belly. All right, thank goodness we're going to give those hip flexors a little bit of a breather here as we start to work into some muscles on the back side of the body. So even though we are laying against the mat, it's easier to forget about that core engagement in this position, but I still want you to make sure that you're pulling your navel up and back towards your spine, that you feel like you're drawing that abdominal wall back the whole time we're moving. That's going to help you to execute the exercise well and to protect your low back in this position. So we're going to go ahead and stack hands right underneath the forehead. Elbows open out towards those long edges of the mat. Shoulders drop down out of your ears. Pick a leg to start with. We are going to work on a variation of a back extension here, bringing the upper body up and that single leg to start. So I want you to go ahead and let that forehead rest down on your hands. Take a nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, go ahead and lift that upper half of the body, peel it away from the mat, and lift that single leg. Think about really lengthening here. Push forwards through your elbows and reach back through your toes. We're going to inhale and gently release to the mat. And then I want you to exhale, same leg here, lift it up. So we're going to work the same leg for the entire set. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. Good, great job so far. We've got 9. Again, drop those shoulders down. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. Good, great job with that slow, controlled tempo. 2. And last one like this. Exhale, lift. Awesome. Inhale, lower. All right, we're going to keep the upper half of the body down here. We're still going to work with that same leg that you've been lifting. I want you to gently peel that leg away from the surface of the mat. So you've got just a little bit of a gap, like you could fit a piece of paper underneath the top of your thigh in the mat. I want you to gently flex your foot. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to curl your heel up, engaging that hamstring. Just come to about 90 degrees. We're going to inhale and extend the leg out. I want you to try to keep that gap between the leg and the floor. That's the hard part. Exhale and curl to 90. Good. Inhale, release down, head and shoulders can soften here. Look down at the mat. Exhale, curl to 90. Good. Inhale, extend. You got this. 9. Whoo, and exhale, curl. 8. 7. Good. Make sure you're not bringing that heel too close to your bottom. Sometimes we can cause those hamstring muscles to feel like they want to cramp when we over-contract, when we over-shorten the muscle. So just to about that 90-degree mark. Getting closer, guys, doing great. And feeling that lower body really working. 5. 4. 3. 2. Thank goodness, last one. This is a sneaky one, curl. All right, extend that leg. Whoo, soften. Good, take a moment, just wiggle it out here. Try to release some of that tension. Great job. We are going to do that same couple of exercises on the other side. So we're going to start with that full lift. Elbows in front half of the body, lifting away from the ground, as well as that opposite leg. And then we'll move into the curl. So go ahead and relax your forehead. Right down onto the backs of your hands. Make sure your core is engaged. Take a nice deep breath in. We're going to go ahead and lift up. So again, opposite leg from the one you've been working here. Inhale and lower. Good. Exhale and lift. Inhale and lower. Nice. Like I said, think more about being long here than lifting up really high. Push forward through those elbows. Reach back through your toes. You got this. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And last one like this. Exhale, lift, reach, lengthen. Good. Inhale, release to the mat. Nice. Keep that upper half of the body down. Let's set up that opposite leg. So we'll go ahead and engage through the glutes just enough to peel that leg away from the top of the mat surface. Find that gentle flex through your foot. Take an inhale and then go ahead on your exhale. Curl up to about 90 degrees. Inhale and extend. Good. Exhale, curl it. You got this. Like I said, this is a really sneaky one. If you do find that the back of your leg is cramping or this exercise just feels really tough, it's certainly okay to let the top of that thigh just come back to the mat and work the curl in and out. Keep that gap if you can. That's really where you're going to get a lot of the work from this exercise. Good, inhale, extend out. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Whew, extend that leg out, release down, great job. Again, take a moment here, some nice deep breaths. Good. Excellent, excellent. All right, we're gonna push up out of this position and we're gonna come up to kneeling. All right, so stacking those knees right underneath the hips. I want you to come up nice and tall here. So we're going to work on a move called a hinge back. Very focused on the core, but we're also really going to feel the fronts of the legs working to keep us nice and stable in this position. Make sure that you've got your feet flipped so that the tops of your feet are pressing down into the mat. It can be hard to keep your control on the way back up and to get a good range of motion with your toes down and your heels up. So again, try to flatten those feet. Make sure you've got that solid connection. If you know that your knees tend to need a little more cushion when you're kneeling, go ahead and just take a moment here to double the mat underneath your knees. We're not going to be here for a really long time, but do what you need to do to be comfortable. We're going to extend arms forwards, drop your shoulders down out of your ears, and make sure those elbows are unlocked. Pull your navel back in. We want to keep a neutral spine the whole time here. Squeeze those glutes. As you take a deep breath in, I want you to start to hinge back. Again, keep that position through your spine. Don't arch, don't round, you got this. And then exhale. Good, lift back up. So we're inhaling, hinging back. Remember, this doesn't have to be a huge range of motion. Exhale, push to lift. Good, inhale. And exhale. 10. Good, make sure you're going nice and slow as you hinge back and lift up. 9, I don't want you to feel like you're going to lose your balance or topple or pitch forwards. 8, you should always have some pressure in the tops of those feet, even at the top of the movement here. 7, just a little bit of a lean back. 6, again, you customize your depth here. Make the exercise your own. 5, 4, 3, whoo, feeling those thighs. 2, and just one more. All right, nice work. Release those arms down. We're going to go ahead and transition back to our seated position. So coming back to our leg extension movement, we're going to start off with an alternating variation. We're going to have the opportunity to do both legs at once. And again, if that's a little intense for you this morning, stick with the alternating legs. So we're going to go ahead, position those hands behind the hips, fingertips facing forwards, shoulders drop, elbows are soft, chest is nice and open, and your spine is really long. So pick a leg to start with. We're going to alternate here. I want you to inhale, extend those toes forwards, hinge that body back. Be as light on those hands as you can be. Exhale to center. Inhale, extend. Exhale to center. Remember, if you need that modifier, you can slide that heel in and out along the floor here instead of lifting the leg off of the ground. Good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and one more. Take a nice big deep breath in. Inhale, hinge. Good. Exhale, drop back to center. All right, take a quick stretch here. Open your knees up. Press the soles of the feet together. Find that long spine first. And then go ahead, exhale, hinge forwards. We've got just one more set of those leg extensions, I promise. So for this last set, you can come back to that alternating variation that we just did, or you can attempt both legs at once. All right, let's go ahead and set up in our position. Hands in that same spot. Fingertips are forwards. Relax those shoulders. Soften those elbows. So again, your choice here, single or double. Make sure you can maintain a really good form. We're going to go ahead and take that inhale. If you're going both legs, extend them out. And then exhale. Tuck those knees up and in towards the chest. Double bonus points if you can keep your feet off of the floor the whole time here. So notice how when I get to that end of the range of motion, I tuck in. My feet are not down, they are up. That could be a modifier as well. If you're attempting that double leg and it's a little tough, take that little pause, that little brief break at the top. Put those heels down. Good. Exhale, lift up and in. 10. Last set of these. Stay strong, guys. 9. 8. This is definitely one of those exercises. We're going slow. 7. Makes us really feel the burn, right? Whoo! 6. I am shaking. There with you. 5. 4. 3. 2. Whoo! Uncle. Last one. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, tuck those knees in. Good. Feet back to the floor. Let's hit that butterfly stretch one more time. Knees open out. Soles of the feet press together. Find that long spine. Lift up through your chest. Exhale. Whoo, hinge forwards. Great job. All right. Awesome, guys. Let's go ahead and lift up. We're going to roll ourselves over so that we are back on the mat on our bellies. So returning to our back extension flow, slightly different variations this time. Okay. So kind of like we just did for our leg extensions, we're going to start with an alternating variation for this back extension, and then we're going to work into a double leg variation as well. So your choice if you want to stick with alternating or do both legs at once. We're going to stack the hands, press the forehead down on top of them. Make sure your navel is lifting up and in away from that mat surface. So pick a leg to start with. I want you to take a nice deep breath in. Go ahead and exhale. We're lifting, lengthening. Reach forwards through the elbows, back through the toes. Inhale, release to the mat. Now switch sides. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, release. You got this. Exhale, lift up, alternating sides. Inhale, release. 12. 11. 10. Good. I love this arm position. 9 for a back extension exercise. 8, because it really helps us to take tension out of the neck and shoulders. 7, when we're doing these movements. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Let's go ahead and push back into a child's pose. Lift up and away from the mat. Tuck those knees in nice and close together. Sit your hips back towards your heels and walk those arms forwards. Push your forehead And your chest down towards the mat and your knees. Good, take some nice big deep breaths into that low back space. We're gonna come back into that back extension variation. Again, you can come back to alternating like we just did, or you can work with both legs at once. All right, last set of these. Let's go ahead and pull forwards, back into that back extension position. Core is engaged, hands are stacked underneath the forehead. All right, so again, single alternating or double, 15 repetitions. Take a nice deep breath in. Go ahead, exhale, lift and lengthen. Again, stretch forwards and back. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift and lengthen. You got this. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift and lengthen. We've got 12. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, so close. Keep that form dialed in. Last 3, 2, whoo, and one more. Awesome. Release down to the mat here. Go ahead and push back just briefly into that child's pose. Knees tucked together, arms are nice and long. Again, big deep breaths into that back side of the body. All right, back extensions are done, but we are going to work on one more exercise from that position on the mat on our bellies, which is a glute press. So I want you to go ahead and come back forwards, lay down on the mat. We'll go ahead and stack those hands underneath the forehead just one more time, but again, we're going to keep the forehead and the upper body down here. I want you to open your knees out so that your knees are hugging onto the long edges of your mat if you're on a mat. Outside of hips width apart is a good way to think of it. So kind of wide, but not so wide it's uncomfortable. We're going to then go ahead and bend the knees and bring the heels together. So I want you to think about the action of squeezing together through the heels as we do a little lift through the legs here. Remember that we only have so much range of motion in this direction on our bodies, so we're not expecting to get a foot off of the floor, really just inches, and we want to go nice and slow and with control. So go ahead and take a big deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to gently, again, push the heels together. Think about squeezing and lifting upwards, just peeling the tops of those thighs away from the mat. Then we're inhaling, softening, releasing. Good. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Good. Inhale, soften and release. Like I said, not a huge range of motion here, right? We're just barely getting those thighs up off of the top of the mat. So just go slow. Inhale and release. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, last 2, keep squeezing those heels together, lift, lift. And just one more here, exhale, squeeze, lift. Inhale, release, soften, go ahead and let those legs extend out nice and long. All right, we're going to cap off this part of the sequence with our hinge backs. So we're going to go ahead when you're ready and come back up to kneeling. Remember, you can take that moment here and double your mat onto itself. If you know that your knees tend to need a little more cushion or feel a little tender when kneeling, we aren't going to be here for a really long time. It will also help you. Like I said, if you think about just leaning back slightly into the tops of your feet, that will actually unload those knee joints. If we're forwards, putting all the weight straight down on the knees, we might feel that just a little bit more than if we're really engaging that entire surface of the shin and foot. So we'll go ahead, extend the arms forwards, shoulders drop down out of the ears, elbows are soft, navel pulls in, glutes are tight. Let's go ahead and inhale, hinging back. And then exhale, lift it up nice and tall. So again, you control your range of motion. Try to keep just the slightest bit of a lean back at the top so that you feel a little pressure in the tops of those feet. Again, we don't want to come so far forwards that we feel like we're going to topple onto the mat or like we're losing that muscle engagement in the lower body and in the core. 10 to go. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. You got this, so close. All right, last 2. Woo, legs are feeling it. Last 1. All right, release those arms down. Woo! Let's go ahead and roll ourselves over so that we are on the mat on our backs. Again, we're going to switch gears just a little bit here. All right, great job, guys. We really have just one more sequence we're going to work through today. We're going to work on some half circle movements through the lower body. So we're going to start out, again, in this position on the mat. We're going to move one leg to start. I'm going to do my left side just because that's the side you guys can see. Right leg is going to be stationary. So for that opposite right leg, or whichever side you're on, we have 3 position options. Foot flat on the floor, that's going to be our most basic modified option. If your low back needs a little more support, you need more control. Kind of our middle of the road option is going to be to keep the leg in the invisible box position. And then our most advanced variation is going to be to keep that leg out straight at about 45 degrees. So I'm going to basically progress through those levels just to show you what that looks like, which means I'm going to start with my foot flat on the floor. I want you to take that left leg, or whichever is your moving leg that you're starting with, and we're going to begin at that 45-degree angle, pointing out through the toes, legs extended nice and long. We're going to open arms out to about a 45-degree angle as well, just to give ourselves a little more lateral stability than if we had arms tucked in all the way. So as you breathe in, I want you to draw half of a circle with those left toes. So we're going out to the side, away from that right leg, and then down and in. So we're hovering right above the floor at the bottom. Legs are at about hips width apart. Now we're exhaling. We're going to trace that half circle in reverse. Out to the side and back up to the top. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, draw that circle. Drop it nice and low, sweep it in. And then exhale, sweep it out and up. Good. I'm going to do one more with my foot down like this. Again, stay with this variation if that's what feels right for you. Exhaling, coming to the top. Progressing to that middle variation here. Shin parallel to the floor. Same thing. We're drawing that nice half circle. Exhale to the top. Good. Try to keep your torso nice and stable here. Pay attention to what's going on with your hips. As that leg is moving out through your half circle, is your opposite hip lifting away from the mat? Or are you able to use your core to keep it anchored and stable? Navel continues to draw back towards the spine. That's always going to help us to have stability and control with any movement that we're doing. If we keep those deep core muscles fully engaged. Inhale and exhale, sweep it, you got this. I'm gonna do 2 more with this variation. Again, stay here as we progress if this is what feels right for you. All right, last one like this. All right, and then full variation. Opposite leg extends to 45 degrees, half circle. Good, and sweep back up to the top. You got it. 5 to go, 5. Whew. 4, good. Try to trace the same half circle each time. Nice and smooth, no sticking points. You can do this. 3. We've got 2. And we've got 1 more. Whew. All right, nice work. Hug those knees in towards the chest. Give yourself just a gentle rock from side to side here. We are going to dive right into the other side. So you know where we're taking this exercise, out to that straight leg progressed variation. If you want to start there, you are more than welcome. I am going to build up through those levels again, just like I did last time on the other side. So I'm going to start out left foot nice and flat on the floor. I'll go ahead and extend that right leg, arms open to our 45-degree angles. Again, really try to push down through your hips, keep that space stable and core engaged. We'll start off with that inhale. Good, draw that half circle, sweep it in, just hovering above the floor. And then exhale, sweep it out and up. Good, inhale. And exhale, you got it, you got it. Whew. Few more like this. All right, I'm going to do 1 more of this variation, and then I'll take it to that middle option. All right, so now foot's off the floor, leg is in that invisible box position. We're inhaling through that half circle, exhaling, lifting back up to the top. Good, nice. Try to really reach through the toes on that moving leg. Good, and draw as big of a half circle as you can. All right, I'm going to do 2 more like this, and then we'll do our last several with that progression. Again, stay with the variation that feels right for you. All right, final progression here. Both legs start at that 45-degree angle. Arc that moving leg out and down. Good, and then out and up. Good, you got it. Inhale out and down. Woo. Exhale out and up. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Whew. All right, great job. Hug those knees in towards the chest. Rock it from side to side. All right, we are so close to the end here. Last 2 work exercises. Moving into a butterfly variation of a crunch, just to give those hip flexors a little bit of a release, but also to allow us working our abdominals. I want you to go ahead and push the soles of your feet together. Open those knees out to the sides. Good. Just try to really relax the lower body here again. Enjoy that stretch. Whew. We're going to place fingertips behind the head and work on a nice partial curl here. So take a big deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to curl up. Think about pulling the wall of your belly back. And then inhale. Good. Release back to the mat. So staying controlled tempo. We've done all of our exercises with. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. Good. Be nice and gentle with that head and neck. 3. 2. Last one. Releasing all the way back to the mat here. Let's go ahead and draw those knees together. All right, last work exercise here. I promise we are going to move into a double leg variation of that leg arc that we just did. So if that option seems like it's going to be a little bit too much for you this morning, we are going to do a total of, let's go for 16 repetitions just to have an even number. You can do 8 on one side and then transition to 8 on the other. So any of the options we just did, single leg, foot flat, foot in the middle, leg extended, and again, working that single leg here, just do 8 on one side, and then we'll do 8 on the other. If you can do both at once, I want you to join me with both legs up at 45 degrees. Otherwise, set up in your single leg position. Inner thighs are engaging as we squeeze those legs together. We're going to open arms out to that 45-degree angle. Remember, you control the size of your circle. You can always start small if you're not sure how this is going to feel. So we're going to begin with an inhale. So we're going to open those legs out to the sides. And then we're going to sweep them down and in at the bottom. So they're just hovering away from the ground at the bottom of the range of motion. Exhale, open out. And back together in that 45-degree angle position. So we're inhaling, drawing now a nice big full circle with both legs. And then exhaling, tracing that same circle back to about 45 degrees. Make sure you've got a little bit of an angle in the legs at the top of the move. We don't want the legs aiming all the way up towards the ceiling, just because that doesn't engage the muscles quite as well. So about 45 degrees is what we're shooting for. Exhale. Good, great job. Again, if you're doing single leg, no worries. We've got just a few more here. Stay with me if you're doing doubles. Again, not an easy variation of this exercise. Make sure that low back is staying lightly connected to the mat as you're moving. All right, let's do one more for my single leggers here. When we get to the top here, I want you to go ahead and switch sides. So stay with 2 legs if you can. We've got 8 to go. Inhale. You got this, you got this. And exhale. 7. We're ending on a doozy, right? Will feel so good when it's done. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one, thank goodness. If you guys are shaking, I am there with you. Exhale, lift those legs up. You got it, you got it. Bring them together. All right, knees towards the chest. Whew. Rock it out side to side. I said, ouch. Whew. All right, just lay back at center here. Place a hand on either knee, and then just go ahead, guide those knees into some nice gentle circles, massage out that low back against the mat underneath you. All right, reverse your direction. All right, bring those knees in towards your chest. I want you to reach your hands right up through the insides of your legs. Try to hook your fingers right on the outside edges of your feet. Coming into a nice happy baby pose here. Again, just stretching everything out, letting the low back release a little. All right, awesome. Go ahead and release your feet to the floor. You can push back up to a seated position. Great job today, guys. That was the workout. I am not going to torture you anymore for this morning. Hopefully you enjoyed it as always. Like I said, I really, really appreciate everybody who makes time to do this workout with me, whether you're doing it live right now from 9 to 9:45-ish, or if you're watching it later. If you can give this video a like, post a comment, or share it with others. That's always a great way to make sure that other people can see these videos too. Like I said, keep watching for more of our virtual schedules, and we will be updating you hopefully today or tomorrow about our plans for our reopening next week and what we'll be offering. Like I said, we've been working really hard to get everything ready for you guys to come back, and we are really, really excited to see some of you again. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Come back and see us tomorrow for Cardio Fusion with Anya at 9 a.m. If you're looking for more workouts this week. Happy Thursday.